TU Athletics would like to thank their properties and our hotel partners program. Thank you to Tulsa Marriott, Silver Hills, Holiday in Tulsa City Center, and Doubletree Downtown Tulsa for their support of TU Athletics. Contact our hotel partners today for special TU rate and discount. Listen to Golden Hurricane women's basketball all season long on Road 93.5. Golden Hurricane fans, while you're at the game, show your light good sport by drinking responsibly. And be sure to have an designated driver for other safe ride knowledge. From our friends at Bud Light, TU Athletics, thank you for making the right call.
Since 1930, the Golden Hurricane Club has provided TU Athletics with critical funding to help meet the rising costs associated with operating
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time,
And welcome to the Reynolds Center here in Tulsa. It's the 16th meeting between the UCF Knights and the Tulsa Golden Hurricane, with UCF holding a slight 8-7 advantage. The Knights are 13-7 and 5-2 in the American Athletic Conference, having won a pair in a row. Tulsa has dropped 4 straight, including a 31-point loss to Tulane, to fall to 8-12, 2-5 overall in American Athletic Conference basketball. Alongside Angela Beck, I'm Jeff Power. Glad to have you along here in the American Digital Network. And we've got ourselves a very interesting matchup. 2 different styles of play, and really a game that both teams will tell you they need to win.
Well, obviously everybody wants to win a game, but UCF does have it rolling. They have a stingy defense. It happens to be a 3-2 defense, and that's exactly what plays into Tulsa's hands. They're a great three-point shooting team. They're going to let it fly. The question is, can they hit the shot tonight?
That's right. Tulsa kind of lives and dies by that three-point shot. Let's talk about some of the other keys to the game. When you look at the running in transition here for UCF, that's definitely one of their standout performances.
Well, they love to run. They love to run off steals. They pressure the defense. They're going to get up and down and really put pressure on Tulsa. And then they want to extend their defenses. They want to try to trap them and make their night miserable.
And that's what Katie Aberson-Henderson is looking at. On the flip side, you've got a really good-looking squad here from Tulsa trying to rebound.
Well, they need to rebound. They need to rebound in more ways than one. They need to get it together right now. They've got the talent. They have everybody back. It's just putting it together. They've got to handle this defensive pressure, and they got to shoot that ball well.
And we'll see if Matilda Mossman can take advantage of being at home here in Tulsa. We've got action coming up for you here on the American Digital Network, as Zakiya Saunders is one of the star players here for UCF.
Well, she is. She's been with Coach Abe for 3 years prior to coming here, set out last year. She's a coach on the floor. She makes it happen. She tells them when to take the right shots, and she's taken some good shots of her own, leading her team in scoring.
And on the flip side, Tulsa with maybe a late change, a new starter today.
Well, she's only a freshman, but she led them in the last game, had 9 points. She's very versatile, and she has a good quality knowledge of the game.
So Rebecca Lasky getting the start. We'll have the tip-off and much more here on the American Digital Network. Be sure to join us here in just a few moments.
People say we're big. Well, what is big?
This is big.
It's an energy. An opportunity. So go on. Dream big. Because big is just the beginning.
I got it. This is big.
I'm Kirk Smith, and this is my story. I'm a captain of TU's track and cross-country teams, and I'm a Rhodes Scholar. My life's pretty simple. I run, I work, and then I run some more. My research focuses on combating climate change by driving down the cost of energy storage. And that's my story, so far.
And welcome back here to the Reynolds Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We've got a good matchup for you today, the Tulsa Golden Hurricane and the UCF Knights. Let's go ahead and take a look at your starting lineup for both teams. Keep an eye out for Shug Dixon and Erica Wakefield for Tulsa, and also Zakiya Saunders for UCF, Angela.
Oh, definitely, and throw in KK Wright there, because they're a great backcourt, Saunders and Wright.
Yeah, this is a good-looking squad for both these teams, and Shug Dixon, her name was Renitha, but I like the name Shug. That really stands out. Let's now go to the third member of our ADN broadcast, and that's Bruce Howard, who is courtside. Bruce, take it away.
Had a chance to talk with the two coaches before the game, and for Matilda Mossman, Angela said it already. Make shots. It's really simple. You got to make shots. When Tulsa gave UConn all sorts of trouble in the game just a week ago, Tulsa made 11 of 24 three-pointers. 3 days later, they lose against Tulane. Tulsa goes 2 for 24 from beyond the three-point arc. So obviously, make shots and then handle UCF's pressure on the other side, on the defensive side. For Katie Aberson-Henderson's team, UCF, she said stay away from the silly, mad fouls, especially when it comes to the bigs. they're a little bit thin in the bigs because of the fact they've had some injuries during the course of the year. So no question about it, stay away from those silly mad fouls and get the ball out of the hands of Erica Wakefield. Coach Abe is very, very impressed with Wakefield. Get the ball out of her hands. Let the other players do the damage for Tulsa. And, of course, play that great defense that UCF has been playing all year long, guys.
All right, Bruce, do appreciate that. And UCF with the ball here in the black uniforms. Tulsa in the white home uniforms trimmed in blue and gold. As UCF working the ball around the perimeter right now. They kick it back to the outside as they're looking for the open shot, and UCF is going to try to play more in the lane. They get the 15-footer here that doesn't go, and the rebound comes out to Tulsa, and they're on the move now as that was Shug Dixon with the rebound.
Here's a standard 3-2 defense that you're going to see UCF use more than likely all night. They might switch to a 2-3. The only problem is you got a great outside shooting team, and we'll see how they handle it.
And there's a turnover, and UCF with the basketball now moving down the floor. And driving in the lane is Ikea Saunders. Can't get it to go, but they do grab the rebound. That's Nyla Schuler, and she kicks it back out. And resetting is KK Wright, the sophomore out of Orlando, Florida, averaging 10 points per game. She gets it inside, looking for Kaba. She can't get it to go, but the rebound underneath is up, no good. Another rebound here for UCF, so they're hitting the boards early on here, Angela.
Yeah, definitely Tulsa needs to keep them off the glass. That's their game, just getting extra opportunities on the offensive end by crashing glass.
Aaliyah Gregory out of Tampa. Now they look inside to Nyla Schuler, and traveling called. So just underway here, no points in the early going. The Knights of UCF in second place right now, tied with two other squads. Everybody chasing UConn here in the American Athletic. And Tulsa with the ball here, looking inside. Erica Wakefield can't get it to go. She is the one of only two seniors on the floor for Tulsa. In fact, only one of two seniors on the entire squad. Very young team.
That's a good move, though. She split the middle of that defense and got into the crease, and that's what they're going to have to do against that defense.
And a turnover here. Alexis Galden now on the move. They give her the paint. She takes it and lays it in for two. And the Golden Hurricanes scored the first bucket of the game. Galden, nice job taking what the defense would give her.
Kind of uncharacteristic of UCF to allow them to get to the rim without stopping the ball. So that's not something Coach Abe's going to like to see.
And you see Matilda Mossman, the coach for Tulsa, on the bench there. And there is a good shot from the outside as I believe that was a two-pointer. I thought it might have been a three, but a big bucket here for the UCF Knights by Zacchaeus Saunders.
Yeah, that was Z. That's her spot right there. That sweet spot about, 12, 14 feet out, and she just pulls the trigger, so they're going to have to find her in that zone.
Tulsa with the basketball now. Of course, Matilda Mossman had a lot of success over with the Arkansas Razorbacks, where she won 67 games from 81 to 84. And shot clock violation on Tulsa.
One of the keys for Tulsa is they're going to have to move the basketball versus a zone. It's a 3-2 zone. The weakness is going to be on the baseline. They need to run some cutters, overload that baseline, and get some good shots.
See Coach Abe here, 20th year in Division I coaching, led the Knights to their best ever American season last year. And some great wins along the way. Second season here with UCF, and she's been pleasantly surprised despite all the injuries. But here's Tulsa grabs the ball off the turnover.
Well, she's one of my two picks for Coach of the Year if she keeps winning through this season. She and Coach Huey out of Houston, if he keeps winning, they've both done a tremendous job. UCF has lost Nador and Okamore, and that's a big two losses for them, and she's got them rolling, losing two of their best players.
Shot off target here, jump ball. Actually, it'll be a possession arrow, and looks like it will belong to UCF, actually. Good aggression underneath, fighting for the ball. That's what you like to see.
Yeah, they're like pushing each other a little bit. I like it. They're kind of just trying to establish who's bigger and badder right now.
And it is going to stay with Tulsa underneath. And throwing it in will be Erica Wakefield, and that's someone Coach Abe couldn't stop talking about, was Erica Wakefield in our conference call about how good she is. And She can hit those shots from the outside, and as she goes, Tulsa goes usually.
Well, she's a difference maker. And what they do a very good job is taking that difference maker out of the game if they can.
Ajay Scales couldn't get it to go. She's out of Houston, went to Kincaid High School.
Yep.
So 2-2.
You can't fall down with the ball in your hand. That would be travel. So, but good effort on the glass by both teams.
We're talking about Coach Abe. You know, she played at Iowa, also played at Georgia, but she was actually coaching at University of Albany for 6 seasons, and that's where she picked up Zacchaeus Saunders, who played there, and that was a great transfer for both of them. It's worked out well so far for UCF.
I don't know if Albany likes it, but yeah, it was a pretty nice transfer for her to get that kid to sit out a year, and now look what she's doing.
Well, she picked up that first postseason win last year. That was first one in school history. This one off target, and UCF does grab the board.
Yeah, I don't like that possession at all. All she did was dribble. You got to move the basketball side to side.
So UCF now with the basketball, trying to work it inside. Good hands here by Tulsa. Being pretty stingy on the defensive side of the floor.
Not many people play UCF in a man-to-man, and they chose to come out and do it. And, you know, Gregory takes her to the rack that time.
And Leah Gregory averages 11.5 points per game, also 12 assists per game, and she gets the bucket here, 4-2. The Knights leading the Golden Hurricane. 2-point advantage here in the early going for the Knights.
Too much dribbling. Let's pass the ball, run some baseline cutters, move the ball side to side. Somebody's going to be open.
Shot from the outside is no good, just off target there by Alexis Golden. She has had 11 double-digit scoring games, but was off target there. And kicking it to the outside is Saunders, looking for some help. UCF with a 2-point lead here. KK Wright works it inside. Nicely done to Masani Kaba. And looks like a foul underneath. And we'll break down that foul and much more. We'll take a quick timeout here. And it is UCF leading Tulsa 4-2 here in the American Athletic Conference Network.
7,000 student athletes rising to become champions in 21 different sports at 13 esteemed institutions across 11 states. 360,000 students and 2.6 million alumni rise up in celebration of a Power 6 conference known as the American.
Underway from the American.
Don't miss the chance to see your team cut down the nets March 3rd to the 6th. Call the Mohegan Sun Arena or visit us online to purchase tickets today.
And welcome back to Tulsa, the American Digital Network here, 4-2. UCF leading the Golden Hurricane of Tulsa. Upcoming broadcast here on the ADN, Wichita State at ECU coming up here on Tuesday. Also Houston at Wichita State. Houston off to a pretty good start this year in the thick of things. Memphis at Houston on Wednesday. Also UCF, we'll see them against Temple. And then there's SMU at USF on February 14th. So a good-looking slate coming up. Houston has been one of the surprise teams this year on the women's side, kind of in the thick of things. And you go into this conference, Angela, and you know UConn's the favorite, but then the battle is for second, third, fourth. You're looking at all that seeding, and it is just kind of a log jam.
It is a log jam, and there's several people vying for that second spot. And, you know, it's important because you figure out which bracket you're going to get into and when you're going to have to play Connecticut. And that's the bottom line. You want to get in that bottom bracket so you're not playing them until the finals. So you can go longer in the tournament play. But, yeah, I think Wichita State's been a surprise. Houston's been a surprise. UCF is certainly not necessarily a surprise for me, but considering what they've actually had to overcome, it makes them a surprising team.
And Matilda Mossman there talking over things with her squad. She's coached at the high school level, the collegiate level. She's been all over, and 229 wins to 195 losses. And, you know, I tell you what, that big win over Wichita State was huge for them, the 67-62 victory. But she has had a lot of good mentors through the years that have, you know, helped her get to where she's at. And I like her style of coaching. She's kind of old school, but she likes to change things up.
Yeah, we coached against each other for many years in the Big 8 and Big 12, and when she was at K-State, I was at Nebraska. So she's got longevity. She's definitely a player's coach. She treats her kids really well, but she expects a lot out of them. But she's a great person and a great coach.
Yeah, she went to Western Kentucky and graduated there in 1979. You see the free throw good there, 5-2 UCF on top here in the early going against Tulsa.
UCF's one of the few teams I see that actually really trap on that full court press. They get after you a little bit.
And this shot from the outside is good, and that is going to be a two-pointer, and that was close. Her foot was kind of right there on the line, but a good basket there from Shug Dixon. Good to see her get off to a good start here, averaging 12 points per contest. She scored at least 20 points 4 times this year, 9 in her career. And here comes Tulsa again with the basketball, trying to take the lead, trailing 5-4. They give it right back, though. Here come the Knights on the move. If the Knights have their way, they're going to run, and they get an opportunity. Oh, good defensive effort underneath the block from Alexis Galden. She's got the ball. Now she's on the move, and she's going to hold things up and reset on the half-court offense here for the Golden Hurricane.
Yeah, just a little bit sloppy passes, you know, putting the ball over your head. Just they need to just settle down a little bit. Fake a pass, make a pass, and keep moving it.
UCF is 2 of 8. Little 2 of 7 here in the early going, and a turnover here as Tulsa will now, or they give the ball up, and the Knights will inbound it.
A little sloppy going early here, 5-4. Neither team shooting the ball extremely well and having just kind of sloppy passes. So, you know, probably both teams are pretty excited. They just need to settle down a little bit.
And UCF, they play well at home. They're 8-2 at home, and again 5-2 in conference play, trying to maybe take sole possession of second place in the conference here. And it's so important. You want to get that bye in the tournament coming up next month, well, 2 months. This shot from the outside is good. The three-pointer goes, and that is Sakia Saunders as she scores. She's out of Augusta, Georgia, so kind of close to home, if you will, at least compared to where she was up in Albany, playing in Central Florida now.
Good looking shot, and she's going to take it. If you don't close out on her, that's because she's going to put it up.
Well, she had 23 points against SMU as they completed the first sweep of SMU in their career. Shot from the outside this time is just a bit off target from Saunders, and back comes Tulsa. UCF leading 7-4, 2 minutes and 12 seconds to play here in the opening quarter. And the shot just off target, no good from the outside. A couple of opportunities there as UCF now brings it back down the floor. That was Sydney McDonald with that shot on the other end. And it looks like we got a stoppage of play here.
Holding
foul.
inside.
Okay. Second team foul.
Couple quick shots here by both teams. I'm sure the coaches would prefer that they move the basketball a little bit and get, you know, because if you don't move the defense and you take a quick shot, you're not getting the board. So they need to, you know, really move the basketball a little bit more.
You see Tajay Scales stepping out. She had 9 rebounds against Tulane. Played in 75 games here for Tulsa. Experience is something that they lack, trying to make up for it. Probably traveling. It is inside. Lift that pivot foot.
That's Kendra Elliott with the defense in there, and she just held her ground and really bodied her up and was physical. And Caba's not liking that.
UCF with 8 rebounds early on here. Tulsa with 5. Both teams struggling with shooting early on. The shot is up and no good, but a foul called underneath.
Well, Coach Mossman must have told Elliott, hey, let's go in there and be really physical against Cava. She's a freshman. She's more of a finesse player than a power player. And then you got, you know, Elliott's more of a power player. So they're going to body her up a little bit, and they're taking her out right now. I'm probably going to have a little talk with her.
Kendrian Elliott's first free throw No good. Elliott had a good freshman year last year, and she makes the second free throw here. She's a 6'2" sophomore out of Wichita, Kansas. You know, last year she had 24 blocks, 220 rebounds, shot 49% from the field. American all-freshman team. She got into a little team violation right early on in the season, but trying to pick things back up here. And this is the time of season where you want all your bigs in there, and she's a presence down low, 0-0 in the white for Tulsa. And here's a turnover, UCF turning the ball over, and Tulsa will inbound it, try to even things up here, down 7-5.
Ironically, if you ask Coach Abe, would you like to see a man or a zone played against you, she'd probably tell you she likes the man. And they have a man going up against them, but they're just, they moved it side to side and really showed a lot of patience and then just turned it over. But I like the way they're moving the basketball, and I like their player movement.
You know, last year, I'll get into this in a moment, as we've got a turnover, UCF with the basketball, working inside, and they lose the hand on it, KK Wright. But somehow UCF gets it back, and that is Saunders scoring the basket, and it's now 9-5. The Golden Knight leading Tulsa.
It's kind of like bumper pool right now. Just don't know where that ball's going to end up.
Here is a basket on the outside, and once again, kind of heating up now, Kendron Elliott. Kendrian with a good basket.
Yep, credit Wakefield, though. Wakefield off the dribble drive, found Elliott inside, and that was probably one of their better conversions.
And a good block here from Elliott, so really making the most of her playing time here. We're down to 8 seconds. One final shot here for Tulsa here in the first quarter. They're going to have to put this one up, down to 2 seconds. The shot from the outside is good. Bingo from the corner. Shug Dixon poured some sugar on it. And after one, Tulsa is now leading UCF 10-9. We'll be right back with more here on the American Digital Network from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh, that ball is hit deep. Left field. Way back. That ball is gone.
Double play ball potentially. Streitenthal's over to first. In time. Double play, and that ends the game.
Power comes in all forms.
Power is a big tackle,
a big save,
a clutch hit,
and a game-winning shot.
Power is also standing up for what is right.
Power is respecting an opponent, officials, student athletes, coaches, and team representatives.
Power is not tolerating racial or ethnic comments,
profanities, or other improper actions
while at the game.
The American.
Power.
Power. Power.
Power for life.
And welcome back to the Reynolds Center here in Tulsa, where the Golden Hurricane leading 10-9. And let's check in with Bruce Howard, who is courtside with more. Bruce, what do you have?
Well, guys, Matilda Mossman had said before the game, the University of Tulsa to win, they would have to limit the second chance shots for UCF, because when UCF makes shots, then they can set up that pressure defense. Well, that didn't happen in the early going. The Knights really did a terrific job of hitting the offensive glass. That's something they're going to be talking about, I'm sure, during this break. And remember that the two teams won on the other squad's home court last year. Tulsa winning in Orlando, and then UCF rallied from a 9-point deficit here at the Reynolds Center last season. So there's no stranger to winning a road game. Certainly important for UCF at this point. And remember, this is the only game between these two teams this year. So if it comes to a tiebreak situation, when we get to the end of the season, this could be a tiebreak game for these two clubs.
Good points, Bruce. Appreciate that. And it is Tulsa leading. They had a nice little run right there at the end of the first quarter to take a 10-9 lead, and they're 4 of 10 from the field. UCF is 4 of 12.
Coach Abe is always concerned, but she was pretty concerned about Tulsa because she said that Matilda has her number. And you know, beating them at UCF last year, and then they had to really dig it out in the fourth quarter. So they're pretty well matched up.
And the shot doesn't fall here for UCF as they turn the ball over. And here comes Tulsa trying to expand on their 10-9 lead here as we open up the second quarter. I like what they're trying to do, getting it inside. And once again, Elliott getting her hands on the ball there. She's really been effective coming off the bench here. But she does lose the handle here, and it goes out of bounds, so it will be UCF basketball.
Well, credit Thigpen in there for right there. Thigpen getting on the ground, sacrificing her body for the good of the team. She's a workhorse for them. She's undersized, she's playing out of position, and she's making it happen.
Shot from the outside goes, and it's Saunders connecting from the outside.
You can't give Z her rhythm. You got to take that rhythm away. They got to crowd her a lot more than they are.
11 three-pointers this year. That wasn't really her game when she was at Albany, but she's definitely stepped that part of her game up, hitting from behind the arc.
It's been her game all year now, so, you know, she's developed it, and that's what happens when you become really good.
Wakefield rejected, and here's a foul called on the other side here. And that is going to be Sky picks up the foul there. She's making the start here today. Did not start in the last game, but was impressive, and probably why she's in that starting lineup today.
It's always exciting when you get your first start ever in college and you're a freshman. I mean, you could tell when she was warming up, she was, you know, really fired up and feeling good. So you just gotta continue doing the stuff that's expected. A lot of missed cribs here so far early.
You've got to hit those shots down low, those gimmies. UCF has been a bit off target, but the rebounding has kind of kept them in this game, and while they're up 11-10.
I've watched UCF several times this year. They tend to kind of, you know, go into a little bit of a lull. They do pick it up, but they need to be playing a lot harder for a lot longer if they're going to make some, you know, get to the NCAAs and do what they really want to do.
There's the pass. This guy kicks it back out. The three-pointer, no good, just off the front of the iron was Shug Dixon, and here comes UCF. They're going to run this time, and the shot is up, no good. Blocking foul called underneath, so we'll get a pair of shots.
Yep, she was inside the protected circle, so that's a great call by the official. She comes in here, see she's inside the circle, so that's an illegal position to be in, and it favors the offensive player.
And heading to the free throw line here for the UCF. Now, I like the smile on the face right there. You know, that relaxed feeling as Lonnell Wilson gets ready to sink a free throw.
She's really given some good minutes to these guys here in the last few games. She averages 16 minutes, but she does a lot of good things, and when they need a bucket, she's not afraid to shoot it.
10 of 18 from the free throw line. She is 42% from the field.
Coach just tells him, hey, Coach Abe says, you know, just shoot it before you turn it over, you know. So she has a pretty relaxed feeling about how she wants her kids to shoot, and it gives them the confidence that, you know, it's not, if it's a good shot, just fire it up.
And here's the first free throw. It's up and good. I like what Coach Abe was saying when we got a chance to talk to her in our conference call, and she mentioned that games are like all about either you're relieved that you won or relieved that it's over. It's kind of that, there's never that feeling of walking away feeling really good about your team. And I think at this point of the season, the injuries that both these teams have had to deal with, a lot of different lineups, it's tough on a coach. You know, it's tough to try to figure out where that missing piece of the puzzle is.
That's why they get paid the big bucks, though, and that's part of the game. It's like a prize fighter. You just got to find a way, and you've got to give kids that have never done something the confidence to do it.
Tulsa with the basketball, trailing by 2, 12-10. The shot from the outside, way off target from Shug Dixon. She knew it right away. Here comes UCF coming back the other side of the floor, and they get the nice layup for 2 from Wilson.
That's what I'm talking about right there. She picked up the tempo, realizing everyone was jogging down the court, and just got it right to the rack. You got to stop the ball. One of the things they have to do is they can't let them get those easy buckets.
So Wilson with 3 points coming off the bench. UCF leads at 14-10. It's the American Digital Network. We're here in Tulsa. We'll be right back with much more.
7,000 student athletes rising to become champions in 21 different sports at 13 esteemed institutions across 11 states. 360,000 students and 2.6 million alumni rise up in celebration of a Power 6 conference known as the American.
Don't miss the chance to see your team cut down the nets at the American Athletic Conference Men's Basketball Championship. All the excitement of tournament basketball starts March 8th and runs to the 11th at the Amway Center in Orlando. For tickets, call the Amway Center box office or visit theamerican.org for more information.
And welcome back to Tulsa. UCF is shooting 38%. The Golden Hurricane shooting 31%, and that's why it's 14-10. UCF leading Tulsa. How about some Olympic sports action for you? It is that time of year. Swimming and diving, February 14th to the 17th. Got indoor track and field here at the American on February 23rd to the 24th. Then golf coming up in April, along with tennis. And, hey, softball, outdoor track and field right around the corner. Even women's rowing, May 12th. Baseball, May 21st through the 26th. So a lot of good Olympic sports there, if you will, and an opportunity just to kind of, it's almost like peeking into the future of, the American athlete when you're looking at college sports.
It's great that we do have the Olympic sports because a lot of people play for the love of the sport. Not everybody gets a full ride scholarship and to go to college. In fact, 1% of all kids get a scholarship to play in college, so it's such a privilege. But so far the story right here is you got Z Saunders, 8 points, 4 of 7. She's a difference maker right now for UCF, and then you got Shug putting the sugar around her shots. She's got 5 points, and I got to watch her kind of in her breakout year last year, and she put on a show, so she's capable of rising to this occasion.
UCF with an 11-9 advantage on the boards. And they are 6 of 16 from the field. Tulsa 4 of 13. And Tulsa, by the way, 1 of 5 as far as the three-point shots. And, that can be important later on. They had a lot of trouble against Tulane, shooting 2 of 24. It's an area they were trying to clean up. Inside. Well, that's one way to fix it. Just work it inside the paint, and they get the bucket down low from Tajay Scales.
Good penetration, though. I like the fact that they're aggressive. Tulsa's trying to get the ball in the seams, and they're not just settling.
Scales, one of those players that gets you a lot of boards, already 5 times this year in double digits in rebounds. Inside, and the ball kicked back out, and there's a foul called underneath on Tulsa, looks like.
UCF's winning the battle of just the physical part. They're grabbing the balls out of people's hands, and Tulsa just needs to get a little bit tougher with every possession.
You see the turnovers there. Both teams pretty high with the turnovers here. Tulsa with 7, UCF with 6. Shot from the outside is good. And that was Lasky hitting the basket. So the freshman, it always feels good to get that first shot, get it under your belt. Rebecca Lasky. We knew that she was either going to be one of the first off the bench or maybe even get the start, and just trying to make the most of her opportunities as a starter today. We're tied at 14. UCF trying to answer. Rebound underneath to Scales.
Well, I like what Scales is doing. She's getting in there, and she's getting a little bit of room in there to get these guys off. They can't out-jump her because she's being physical with them, and that's what UCF likes to do, out-jump everybody.
Tulsa trying to snap a 4-game skid. Foul called.
You know what I'm happy about? That baseline drive. They got it on the baseline. They attacked the weakness of that 3-2 finally. Right here, boom. On the baseline, there's only 2 guys playing defense down there. There's got to be some room.
Alexis Galton taking advantage of the opportunity. And she's actually going to take a seat right now, but getting some high fives there. You see Kendrian Elliott with the high five. Shot off target here from Lasky. Back comes UCF. Game tied 14-all. Inside 5.5 minutes to play here in the first half. Knights, of course, all the success in football this year, going undefeated. They actually claimed a national championship, if you will. I kind of like that. You know, why not?
Yes, Scott Frost, National Coach of the Year, wasn't it?
That's right.
And he's a Nebraskan.
Is that Nebraska now?
Yeah.
You know that area well, don't you?
I love it. I'm so excited for all the Nebraska people.
How many years were you coaching there in Nebraska?
11.
11, wow,
Yep.
That's great. Big 12 basketball's always been good. Shot from the outside is up and no good. Off target here from Shug Dixon, and back comes UCF. The Knights with the basketball in the black uniforms here as they work it inside. Good move, and that's a basket and the foul. That was Masani Kaba.
Offensive foul right there.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
offensive. You're right.
Yep. Taja Scales did a good job bodying up. She's got position, and she takes that elbow and pushes her back. That was an isolation. She talked about we've got some ISOs, and this is an ISO for Kaba down low, and they did a nice job of defending that.
Yeah, she's been the freshman of the week 3 times. That's one of those 50-50 calls. That could almost go either way. I'm sure Kaba thought maybe she should be on the free throw line with an and one. Tulsa with the basketball, though, 14-all. And they lose the handle. And that was Schuler with the rebound as they kick it down the floor. Oh, errant pass, turnover, Tulsa basketball. Both teams a little high on the turnovers.
Yeah,
got to be careful.
You can see Z's a little disgusted with herself. That's not a good pass.
I think both teams would tell you that let's get a shot off before we do something like an errant pass or any kind of turnover. And there's not a very good shot inside. Shug Dixon had a pretty good look there, but just kind of flung it up there. Inside 4 minutes, 14-all. Shot is off target, no good from Gregory.
Well, neither team's really shooting that ball too well.
Tulsa with a drought of 240. UCF scoring drought 354. Part of that is defense, part of it turnovers. Sky had a shot there, but from the elbow, but elected to give it up. And traveling call before the shot. That's too bad. That would have been a three-pointer right there, but no dice this time. As Ebony Parker kind of walked off smiling there, saying, oh, I had the shot too.
Well, 3-2 defense is designed to keep you out of the middle. It clogs up that middle, and they're trying to dribble through the middle, and that's a tough thing to do. I'd rather see them make a few more cuts.
Tilda Mossman, you saw her there for a second, in her 7th season as the coach of Tulsa. This one is off target from Saunders, and it will belong to Tulsa.
Tulsa's done a nice job of giving them just one opportunity. They're not getting that offensive board that they got in the first 3 minutes of the game.
Tilda Mossman also coached over at Kansas State, where she was 80 and 66 between 84 and 1989. Again here with Tulsa now with 90 wins in her 7th year, 237 victories overall. Turnover.
That's when the pressure gets to you. That's what they were hoping for, to cause some turnovers in the full court. It's one of those up and over passes that you never want your kids to throw.
So UCF with the basketball now, even at 14. Good drive inside for 2. Nicely done from Saunders. Thought she might have taken an extra step there, but
it was a good drive and good decision making. She's like, okay, I missed my last 2 perimeter shots. Let me get in a little tighter, and she was able to get right to the rim.
Take what the defense will give you. 16-14. This one is no good from the outside as Ebony Parker can't get it to go, but a foul called.
Scales showing us some defense there. Grabbing that rebound and hanging on to it.
Aaliyah Gregory, the 5'10 senior from Tampa, called for the foul. Mentioned the fact that she averages 11 points and 12 assists per game, and Anytime you can average a double-double, that's pretty impressive. She became the 22nd Knight to reach 1,000 career points. Gregory did. 2-point lead here for UCF. Closing in on 2 minutes. Oh, the bank is open. There's a basket.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she didn't mean to do that, but
Take it.
she'll make those shots.
Yeah, I always say, hey, if that square is there for a reason, it's okay to overshoot every now and then. So 16 all as Dixon makes the basket. Shug with 7 points, 3 of 7 from the field. Off target was Saunders. Tulsa will inbound it, and we're even at 16.
And that was Schuler right there getting her hands on it and tying it up. She's one of the best offensive rebounders for UCF.
Scales checks back out. She's played pretty well here defensively and also some rebounds. Elliott has also done pretty well here. 1 of 1 from the field, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, a couple of rebounds for her. When she came in, they kind of made that run earlier, and she's back on the floor now. She takes the ball, looking inside, puts it up, and no good. Almost too close to the basket there. 16 all. Minute 30 to play here in the first half. UCF with the ball. We'll hear from both head coaches at halftime. Nice dish to the outside. The shot is up. Oh, got to make that one no good from Schuler. Back comes Tulsa.
Yeah, that was great penetration pitch, but just a missed shot.
That inside-outside game is so important. You got to kick it out, and when you've got a player open, they've got to hit that shot. Most forwards will tell you, I'll take that shot all day. That's a 10-footer they should easily make.
Most coaches will let you do it too.
Now inside. This guy can't get it to go. Almost called for a foul there. You got to watch that. You know, you'll see a player miss a shot, and they try to go after the ball, and sometimes they'll pick up that foul. That always frustrates the coach.
40 seconds. UCF does a pretty good job down the stretch of getting the shots they want. It's usually Z taking it, but thick pin all the way down. Nice roll. Splits the defense, goes between 2 defenders, and kisses the glass.
Yeah, 18-16. UCF leading. Now driving 2 on the other side. Beautifully done from Dixon.
The drive-through's open.
She's at a Lutheran North in St. Louis, Missouri. She averages 12.7 a game. Now we're inside 8 seconds. We're tied at 18. Will UCF have a lead at halftime? Let's see. From the outside. Oh, it's good.
I called it. Except Z usually takes it, but they've hit so many buzzer beaters this year. You cannot give them that.
Yeah.
And that's thick pin. She's a guard playing a post.
Big Ben with the big basket right there as UCF will take a 21-18 lead. Bruce Howard standing by with Coach Abe of the UCF Knights. Take it away, Bruce.
Hey, thanks, guys. Coach Abe, how big was that shot at the end of the half to at least give you the lead?
Yeah, we're struggling. We're just missing shots right now. We're getting some wide open looks, and we got to knock them down. So, yeah, that was a big shot. She actually scored 5 points in a row right there for us, so that's big.
Defensively, though, you're playing pretty well?
Okay, but I think it's really hard to trap number 3 on their team. She's a really good player for them, so we just got to do a better job in the half court. But really, right now, we're struggling offensively.
So the adjustments at halftime are mostly on the offensive side for you?
I think so, yes.
All right, Coach, good luck.
Thank you.
That's Coach Abe.
Thank you, Bruce. Do appreciate that. So here at halftime, it's UCF leading 21-18. Angela Beck and I will be right back with halftime activities as the Knights lead by 3 here on the American Digital Network.
7,000 student athletes rising to become champions in 21 different sports at 13 esteemed institutions across 11 states. 360,000 students and 2.6 million alumni rise up in celebration of a Power 6 conference known as the American.
Hope your Monday's off to a great start. Thanks for tuning in to an all-new episode of The Rise. I'm Haley Outen.
Let's take a look at who took home this week's league honors after standout performances on the hardwood this past week. On the men's side, 2 players stole the show in conference play, SMU guard Shake Milton and Cincinnati forward Gary Clark. Shake Milton got last week started with a career-best 33-point performance on the road to lead his team past number 7 Wichita State. He then followed that performance up with a 20-point output at home against Tulane to seal off a perfect 2-0 week for the Mustangs. For Gary Clark, it was also an exceptional week, averaging a double-double with over 15 points and 14 rebounds a game. Clark led his team to wins at UCF and at home against ECU. Rookie of the Week honors went to ECU guard Sean Williams. The redshirt freshman averaged over 18 points in a 1-on-1 week for the Pirates. He had a career-high 22 against USF and backed that up with a team-high 15 at Cincinnati. A handful of other players had impressive performances as well. Here's a look at this week's American Honor Roll. On the women's side, UConn guard Kia Nurse picked up this week's accolades. The senior averaged 18 points and shot 60% from the field in a 3-0 week for the top-ranked Huskies. In a win over number 9 Texas, Nurse had 13 points and 5 rebounds. Freshman of the Week honors went to UCF forward Masani Kaba. The freshman helped the Knights to a perfect week at home. She posted 16 points against Tulane and tallied 6 against SMU. The 5-2 mark in conference play is the Knights' best since the 2008-2009 season. And here's a look at the performances that received recognition on this week's Conference Honor Roll. Thanks for joining us on this all-new episode of The Rise. Be sure to check back later tonight as we'll bring you an all-new episode of Mondays with Mike, where we dive into the top men's basketball headlines across the league. Also keep an eye out on Wednesday for our new show called American Roundball, where we welcome in Monica McNutt to break it down on the women's side. Have a great week, everybody.
People say we're big. Well, what is big?
This is big.
It's an energy. An opportunity.
This is big, baby!
So go on. Dream big. Because big is just the beginning.
I got it. This is big.
I'm Kirk Smith, and this is my story. I'm a captain of TU's track and cross country teams, and I'm a Rhodes Scholar. My life's pretty simple. I run, I work, and then I run some more. My research focuses on combating climate change by driving down the cost of energy storage. And that's my story. So far.
Don't miss the chance to see your team cut down the nets at the American Athletic Conference Men's Basketball Championship. All the excitement of tournament basketball starts March 8th and runs to the 11th at the Amway Center in Orlando. For tickets, call the Amway Center box office or visit theamerican.org for more information.
Oh, that ball is hit deep. Left field. Way back. That ball is gone.
Double play ball potentially. Schreitenstal's over to first. In time, double play, and that ends the game.
Power comes in all forms. Power is a big tackle,
A big save.
A clutch hit.
And a game-winning shot.
Power is also standing up for what is right.
Power is respecting an opponent, officials, student athletes, coaches, and team representatives.
Power is not tolerating racial or ethnic comments,
profanities, or other improper actions
while at the game.
Be American.
Power.
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 Power for life.
We are underway from the American.
Don't miss the chance to see your team cut down the nets March 3rd to the 6th. Call the Mohegan Sun Arena or visit us online to purchase tickets today.
People say we're big. Well, what is big?
This is big.
It's an energy, an opportunity. So go on. Dream big. Because big is just the beginning.
I got it. This is big.
I'm Kirk Smith, and this is my story. I'm a captain of TU's track and cross country teams, and I'm a Rhodes Scholar. My life's pretty simple. I run, I work, and then I run some more. My research focuses on combating climate change by driving down the cost of energy storage. And that's my story. So far.
7,000 student athletes rising to become champions in 21 different sports at 13 esteemed institutions across 11 states. 360,000 students and 2.6 million alumni rise up in celebration of a Power 6 conference known as the American.
Don't miss the chance to see your team cut down the nets at the American Athletic Conference Men's Basketball Championship. All the excitement of tournament basketball starts March 8th and runs to the 11th at the Amway Center in Orlando. For tickets, call the Amway Center box office or visit theamerican.org for more information.
Oh, that ball is hit deep. Left field. Way back. That ball is gone.
Double play ball potentially. Schreitenthal's over to first. In time, double play, and that ends the game.
Power comes in all forms. Power is a big tackle,
A big save.
a clutch hit.
And a game-winning shot.
Power is also standing up for what is right.
Power is respecting an opponent, officials, student athletes, coaches, and team representatives.
Power is not tolerating racial or ethnic comments,
profanities, or other improper actions
while at the game.
Be American.
Power.
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 Power for life.
We are underway from the American.
Don't miss the chance to see your team cut down the nets March 3rd to the 6th. Call the Mohegan Sun Arena or visit us online to purchase tickets today.
And welcome back to Tulsa, where UCF leads 21-18. I'm Jeff Power alongside Angela Beck, and it's been really a first half of two key players for both of these teams. For the most part, both teams not shooting the ball too well, but we've had some pretty good performances by both Saunders and also Shug Dixon.
Well, yes, individually they've done a great job. Team-wise, they both are showing effort, but there's not a lot of continuity in the offenses, not shooting the ball extremely well. But here you got Z pulling the trigger from the outside. She has got 10 points, double digits. Then you got Shug taking that shot, little drive by Wilson, and there goes Z Saunders getting to the rim and making it happen. Another one by Dixon.
And again, overall, I'll tell you what, Dixon with 9 points, 4 of 8 from the field, and she normally averages 12.7 per game. The UCF Knights have done pretty well as well with the 10 points from Saunders. You look at some of the statistics, the field goal percentage, both the teams shooting with have both made 6 shots. How about the three-point shots? Tulsa, it's so key for them to hit those three-pointers because they live and die by it. Just 1 of 6, but not like last week's 2 of 24 against Tulane.
Yeah, and the Knights aren't giving them a lot of opportunities to take them. They've only attempted 6, so that talks about the Knights' defense. I think points in the paint on offensive turnovers, they 8 for UCF versus 3 for Tulsa, but those came in about the first 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and both teams trying to take advantage of the opponent's turnovers and mistakes. What do you want to see maybe here in the second half from both teams? What are you talking to them about if you're the head coach of either one of these squads?
Well, I think, you're happy if you're Tulsa because you're in the game, but you're going to have to limit them to 1 shot. You're going to have to attack the rim a little bit more. I'd like him to get it inside to Elliott. And then on the other hand, I think the same thing. Cabo really hasn't had a lot of touches. They need to get the ball to their bigs inside, do a little inside-out action.
Yeah, I like Elliott coming off the bench. She played pretty well inside for Tulsa. And I think one of the keys, hey, the fans here having a good time. They're excited and fired up and ready to go. The Cognacs right there. I'm not real sure what that's all about. But, hey, Tulsa is the Golden Hurricane, and why not support the squad here? Both these teams know they can play better here in the second half. I don't think there's any question about that. But I think as far as both coaches, the idea is to get the ball inside, try to get the easy baskets if you can, and then take the shots where you can.
Like you said, this is a big win for both of them. Obviously, if you're UCF, anytime you can grab a road win, it's huge. They're going to Cincinnati next, who actually they're tied with right now for second place in the league. So this would be a huge road win for UCF. It's still a young squad, 2 years together with Coach Abe. It would talk a lot about which direction their program's going. But on the other hand, you got Tulsa with 4 losses in a row. They need one really bad.
And Matilda Mossman, the head coach of the Golden Hurricanes, standing by now with Bruce Howard. Bruce, take it away.
Coach, one of the things you said was so important was make shots. You didn't make enough, I'm sure, but you defended well.
We did, and the game is almost even at this point. The number of points, they just get that 3 right there at the end, but our shooting percentages are the same, number of fouls the same, turnovers is almost even, number of threes each team has made is almost even, so it's anybody's game at this point.
You were worried about handling their pressure. Did you do okay in that area or no?
I thought we did. We did well in the backcourt, but we didn't handle it as well once we got against their 3-2.
All right, Coach, good luck.
All right, thank you.
Head coach Matilda Mossman from Tulsa.
All right, Bruce, do appreciate that. And, these two teams get ready to play here in the second half. I think one of the standout things here for Tulsa, you're in this game. You're down by 3 points, but it's a winnable game. You're at home, and it's one of those games where you've got to snap that 4-game losing streak. Why not now? I think the combination of trying to hit that outside shot, the way Shug Dixon has played, but also trying to get it inside, whether it's Elliott or some of their other big, tall players like Tajay Scales, they've got to find a way to get some points from somewhere other than the perimeter.
10 turnovers is it's too many turnovers for Tulsa. They only average 14.7 turnovers a game, so they already have 10. They need to take care of the basketball. I'd like to see them move it a little bit more and let their bigs touch.
So it is UCF that will have the ball here to start the second half here at the Reynolds Center in Tulsa. Immediately they work it inside, but they lose the handle down low, but they get it right back.
Well, they're digging down on the post on Kaba and not letting her make those moves.
There's KK Wright with the shot and does not get the friendly roll. Rebound by Scales underneath. She says, that's my ball. I don't care who's next to me.
That's a good rebound.
Erica Wakefield, you heard Coach Abe paying respects to her, and she can't seem to say enough about Erica Wakefield. She doesn't score a lot of points, but what she does is she's the floor general. She averages 9 per game, but really makes things happen. But she's only 69 points away from 1,000 in her career. And this one goes out of bounds, and it will stay with Tulsa.
I'd like to see her score a few more points. I think she's capable of stroking that from anywhere she wants.
Doesn't have a basket in this one, 0 for 3 so far, surprisingly. Mission accomplished so far for Coach Abe on shutting her down. Knights going to run this time. They get it down the floor, and they get the layup here as Masani Kaba scores.
Not only do they find her, but she had a nice soft touch as a freshman, you know, running the floor and then finishing that layup.
Well, and she scored in double figures 8 times this year, so they're going to try to find a way to make her more part of this offense here in the second half as UCF leads by 5.
Well, even though they lost their 2 bigs last year, at the beginning of this year, you know, you can't feel totally sorry for Coach Abe because she's got Masani Kaba getting a ton of minutes for her future.
Aaliyah Gregory called for the foul there. 5-point lead for UCF. Shug Dixon now kicks it back over to Wakefield.
See,
Coach
is trying to get him to reverse it, move it. There you go.
Oh, they had the right idea. Scales was open underneath, just couldn't get it in there.
Fake it high, deliver it low. The little bounce pass to the little short corner would have been wide open.
The bounce pass, it's almost a forgotten art, isn't it? You don't see it
For
as
some
often as you used
players
to.
it is. There's a lot of drills that coaches do to, you know, fake passes, make passes, bounce pass. You can only bounce pass, take the air out of the ball. There's lots of things you can do.
From the outside, Dixon no good off the front iron. And Tulsa will have the possession here off the jump ball. And there's a good look at Alexis Galden from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Got several players from Oklahoma. Crystal Polk is out of Lawton, Oklahoma, and Addison Richards from Bixby, Oklahoma. Of course, more Oklahoma's Erica Wakefield. Rotating around, Lasky can't get it to go. And that will go to the Knights. Good defensive effort.
Just nothing under there, and that's a kind of a freshman mistake. You think you got something going, and you know the weak side comes over and traps you. So just a poor decision.
Draw you in. UCF now with the basketballs we play here in the third quarter. UCF 5-2 in conference play. Tulsa's 2-5. Of course, UConn now 9-0 in conference play. Sky called for the foul.
Not a lot of changes on either team after halftime with their defenses. Matilda's still playing that man-to-man, and they're still in their 3-2. And it's been effective for both teams.
She won a conference title in her second season with Tulsa.
Good hustle for the big girl, but took it out of bounds.
There's Coach Abe in her second year, coming off a very impressive season last year. You know, they are known for pressing at times, too. It kind of depends if they need to trap, and they did say they'd like to trap Wakefield when they can. They haven't had too many opportunities. Shot off target, no good. Rebounded by Galden. Here come the Golden Hurricane. They need a bucket, down 5. Central Florida kind of packing it in more. This is kind of what we're used to seeing with UCF.
She likes that 3-2. She learned it from Joe Champy. She has his book, and she's learned 2-3 defense from Bill Finley out of Iowa State. So she's had some good mentors.
The shot was off target there, and back come the UCF Knights. You can see as they work it down low, there's the ball tipped and knocked away. And they do get it back, though, and this is KK Wright. Now off to the side, they got to take a shot. Saunders gets it to go, the three-pointer. I tell you what, for a possession there where, they're wearing the clock down, you're not sure if they're going to get off a good shot, that's a good three-pointer right there.
Well, she makes good decisions, and that was a good decision. They needed a point, and she's been the one all night getting them the point, so why not shoot it?
You can see how physical things get when you're down low, and it's just that type of game where they don't give you many options inside the paint, neither team really. And as I say that, Scales lays it in for 2.
Good-looking shot by Scales. Deliberate, strong, power move to the hole.
Yeah, she just got the basketball where she wanted it and laid it in for 2. Easy shot right there. Good ball movement here from UCF, and they score from the outside. Now both teams starting to heat up as Saunders scores.
It's the Saunders
Dixon show.
That's
right. Saunders with 15.
I might start trapping Saunders if I'm Tulsa. You got to keep the ball out of her hands.
Lay-in is up and good.
Don't wake the sleeping giant in Erica Wakefield. If she gets going, this could be a real good fight.
Yeah, that's her first basket. She's 1 of 4 in the 22 minutes. Play inside. Oh, stealing away almost by Scales. Nice job defensively there as Kaba was kind of looking maybe to pass it out, and Scales just took the ball from her.
Well, Kaba did something she shouldn't do. She put the ball in the midsection of her body. She's a tall girl. Get it up over your head. You know, don't bring it down where they can tie you up.
Shot is off target, no good from Kaba. Had a good look there, but a little off balance.
Over the back by Schuler. Schuler's a great offensive rebound that time. She got caught over the back.
UCF leads at 28-22 as we play here in the third quarter. A little over 5 minutes to go here in the third. Little runner is up, no good. But the rebound outside to Scales, and they move it back around. Trying to work it inside. Over to Golden. She kicks it out to Wakefield, back to Golden. Good pass inside. Liskai blocked away as Schuler with a nice defensive effort there. And she's called for the foul, looks like. But I like the defensive effort from her.
Good heads-up play, though. Shots winding down. Great block right there.
All ball.
And she goes in and throws the floater up there, and that's what Wakefield does. She starts waking up here a little bit. She didn't make the shot, but it was a nice take.
It's the American Digital Network, and right now it is UCF 28, Tulsa 22. Third quarter action. We'll be back with much more.
7,000 student athletes rising to become champions in 21 different sports at 13 esteemed institutions across 11 states. 360,000 students and 2.6 million alumni rise up in celebration of a Power 6 conference known as the American.
Underway from the American.
Don't miss the chance to see your team cut down the nets March 3rd to the 6th. Call the Mohegan Sun Arena or visit us online to purchase tickets today.
And welcome back here to Tulsa. This is the Reynolds Center, and it is UCF leading the Golden Knights 28-22. Check that, the Golden Hurricane, I should say. And let's take a look at the standings here in the American Athletic Conference. There's UConn winners today. They're now 9-0, 20-0 overall. And you know, USF was predicted to be one of the top teams in this conference. They're doing well, but look at UCF right there in the middle of things. An opportunity to move into sole possession of second place today. Thoughts about as you look at this, maybe the top 5 here. Houston's been a pleasant surprise as well.
Well, I like the top 5. I'm surprised Tulane's 7. I actually like the top 6. I think Wichita State, Houston, Cincinnati, UCF, or I think US will probably break out of the pack. They're pretty strong, and they know how to finish games. So I look for maybe them to end up number 2. But who ends up number 3? I really don't know.
And of course, Tulane coming off a big win. But, you know, turnovers have been sort of the key in this game. Both these teams have had trouble hanging on to the basketball. There's been good defense, you could say that as well, but also just some opportunities like that, and you just throw it away.
Yeah, too much dribbling, and that's what happens when they're trying to dribble into the middle of that zone, and almost all of their turnovers are coming right down the middle. Here's just a trap, and they try to throw an up and over instead of trying to break it in the middle. And she gets up off her feet, and that's a no-no.
Tulsa with 12 turnovers, and UCF with 9. Again, a 6-point lead here for UCF as we play in the third quarter. Pivotal game, really, and it's that time of season where you hear a lot of coaches talk about it. Everybody's nicked up. You've got players that are dealing with all kind of injuries, stress fractures, and just, you know, shoulder aches and things. You just got to play through it and find a way to make shots like that. And there's Shug Dixon. She was leading the way in the first half, and she picks up the big three-pointer here to cut it to 3.
They had a nice set that time, but Shug just pulled the trigger. They didn't run the set that they were supposed to, but you don't need to run the set when you hit that 3.
And Coach Abe right there talking things over with her squad. Again, they are 13-7 overall. Tulsa 8-12. You know, the freshman of the week was just honored as Kaba. Hey, what the heck? Right here in the building as she helped the Knights an undefeated week at home. Finished with a game high 16 points and a career best 4 steals against Tulane. Had the 6 points, 2 boards, and 2 blocks in the win over SMU. And I tell you what, Masni has played well this year. She's been a pleasant surprise. And then, of course, our player of the week, UConn's Kaya Nurse. She is a guard, averaged 18 points, shot 60% from the field in a 3-0 week for the Huskies. Conference action, Nurse recorded 17 points against Tulsa and posted 24 at Temple. Leads the nation in 3-point field goal shooting percentage. And once again here, the honor roll here from the American Athletic Conference. Nicole Hope, Jasmine Harris, Maria Jesperson, Colby Morgan, and Diamond Lockhart. Good to see all the young ladies here, and a freshman, sophomore, and 3 seniors. So it's spread pretty evenly right there. See if we can get some juniors on that honor roll maybe next time.
You never know.
And there's Coach Abe right there. Her squad is 5-2 and leading right now 28-25. Probably not too happy with the defensive effort against Shug Dixon, who's been really lighting it up here for Tulsa.
Yeah, Coach she's a ritualistic coach. She likes to do the same thing every single practice game, whatever. If they're going to go eat, they eat at this time. They have a chalk talk this time. And so, she tries not to get her kids too fired up about anything. And I kind of respect that again for her because she doesn't put a lot of pressure on them. You know, they come to a game, she just wants them to think about what they got to do, and that's it.
There's Matilda Mossman as well. She's happy that Dixon has got 12 points, 5 of 10 from the field, including 2 of 5 from behind the 3-point line. Leading the way for UCF has been Saunders. She's 7 of 13. There's a good look at Thigpen, who had that buzzer beater there right before the first half. And, hey, right now that's the difference in the game, 3 points.
It is, and I'll tell you right now, the Knights can kind of lull you to sleep, like I said. They don't really play as hard as they do for 40 minutes in these kind of games. They kind of play to the maybe level of what they've got, but don't let that don't kid yourself. I think they have another gear in them, and Tulsa needs to make sure they got that same gear because they can put you down real quick.
Kayla Thigpen, the 5'8 junior from West Palm Beach, Florida, played at Palm Beach Lakes High School. And here's the shot from Saunders, off target, no good.
Right out of the timeout, a little set play for her to get a shot, which is smart.
Now Tulsa with the basketball. Trying to even things up here, down 3. The Golden Hurricane on the move. Wakefield with the basketball. Seeing if she can penetrate, has to kick it back out. Done a pretty good job on Wakefield, who just has 2 points. Ooh, NBA range shot. Nothing but net, but below the rim, so no basket. 28-25, UCF still on top.
Not a good possession, just not a lot of player movement at all, and too much dribbling once again, so they really never tilted it, they never countered, and they got no attack on that possession.
So UCF now with the basketball. You see Ariel Wilson has checked back in. She's out of New Orleans, wears 23. Move the ball around. Good penetration inside. Shot up from Cobble. And that was a nice effort. I love the extra pass right there inside from Wright as well.
That time she squared up. Good little jump stop. And she squared up. She should have finished it, but, I'll give it to her. She's just a freshman. But it was a good left-hand shot, and She's at the line. So I like her. She was more deliberate than what I've seen. She kind of outquicks herself sometimes.
Free throw off target. She went to Cathedral High School. And the second one is good, 29-25. Tulsa leads, or UCF leads. Tulsa with the basketball. Defense coming out a little further now. Trying to set a screen with Scales. Wakefield looking for an option. Does get it into Scales. She's going to shoot this. Oh, called for traveling. Switched her pivot foot. Maybe she was surprised that she was as open as she was. They were actually surprised that she caught the ball because it was a kind of a risky pass.
It was one of the few times that they didn't really dig someone down on her, so she was, like, I think, surprised she had a one-on-one.
Put that hook shot up right there. All kind of moves for post players to go to. Got to shake things up a little bit. Here comes Wright with the basketball. And ball deflected. It will stay with the Knights. It's a 4-point lead from UCF.
KK's had kind of a little bit of a silent night. 0 for 4 or 0 for 3 right now from the field. Does have 4 assists, but usually more of a scorer for them.
Saunders. And they lose it. Elliott, who's back on the floor with the rebound. 0-0. Now on the move to Shug, and she gets it to go. Wow. Dixon continues to play well as she's leading the way with 16 points.
She's an exciting player to watch, and she usually performs well in the big games.
UCF with the basketball, working the baseline. That's a good move right there. You're almost guaranteed to go to the foul line if you can just get inside towards the basket and put it up.
Well, there's Wilson right there. She's efficient. She sees what they, gives it, what they give her, and she takes it, and she draws the foul. So that was nice, aggressive move by her.
Elliott called for the foul. Elliott coming off the bench in this game, and I like her size. I like her rebounding ability. They made the run early on in the game with her on the floor. She went to Wichita South High School. Had such an impressive year as a freshman last year. She's trying to build on that now as a sophomore. Sometimes the league figures out a little bit more about you when you're a freshman, and then they start doubling down on you and things like that as you get a little older and they get to know you.
Big offensive rebound there by Thigpen.
Tulsa thought they got away with one there, but no. It's like a foul call.
Not real sure about that one. I know the hand's part of the ball, so I don't know if we get to see that again, but that was good for them. They're scrapping it out, and if you put it down, they're going to be digging it out.
Ebony Parker checking back in now for Tulsa. The Golden Hurricane trail the Knights 30-27. The runner is up and no good as Saunders can't get it to go. That ball was all around the rim but would not fall. She is stuck on 15. Deep pass to Shug Dixon, no good. A three-pointer off target. And UCF now setting up in the half court. Up 3, down to about a minute to play here in the third quarter. I like the fact that the women's game goes by the quarters. You can gauge the game better, I feel that way.
I like the quarters. I like their patience here. They got 5 seconds. That's Wilson. Doesn't get it to go, but nice take down the rim.
Yeah, took the clock all the way down to 5. Now it's Tulsa with the basketball. 20 seconds on the shot clock, 35 in the third quarter here. Tulsa down 3, looking for the right shot. Bad pass inside to Dixon. Here comes UCF. This one's off target, no good, off the back iron. That was Gregory with the shot off the back iron.
That's a shot that gets you ulcers.
Gotta hit that one, huh?
Yeah, because if you miss that, then you know it's back on the other end, and they get the final shot.
Yeah, she's wide open. I always feel like you got to use the glass in that situation when you're in that corner. 2 seconds, got to get a shot off here. Down 3, and it goes. So Tulsa does get the basket as it's Dixon. What a great first half, or third quarter she had, as we now have a 1-point game. 30-29, UCF leading Tulsa here on the American Digital Network. We'll be back with the fourth quarter here in just a moment.
Oh, that ball is hit deep. Left field. Way back. That ball is gone.
Double play ball potentially. Schreitenthal's over to first. In time, double play, and that ends the game.
Power comes in all forms. Power is a big tackle,
A big save.
a clutch hit.
And a game-winning shot.
Power is also standing up for what is right. Power is respecting an opponent, officials, student athletes, coaches, and team representatives.
Power is not tolerating racial or ethnic comments.
Profanities or other improper actions.
While at the game.
Be American.
Power.
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 Power for life.
And welcome back to Tulsa, 30-29. UCF women leading the Tulsa Golden Hurricane as UCF has been held scoreless for 6 minutes from the field. But let's check in now with the third member of our broadcast crew, Bruce Howard, who's along the sidelines. Bruce?
Well, Jeff, one of the great stories for University of Tulsa basketball this year is Morgan Brady. She hasn't played a whole lot in this game, but she's number 22, and she came to Tulsa from the Little Rock, Arkansas area as a walk-on. She worked so hard as a freshman that she has already been awarded a scholarship for Matilda Mossman. So she wears number 22 for the University of Tulsa. The reason? Her brother, Jeremy, actually played safety for the University of Tulsa for 4 years. He was a 4-year starter for TU. So older brother Jeremy, 22, and younger sister Morgan, 22 as well.
All righty, Bruce. Appreciate that. And so cool to be able to have like your siblings wearing the same number for different teams. And I know it makes the parents happy too, those scholarships. Inside to Elliott, and she lays it in for 2. And looky here, Tulsa leads UCF 31-30 as we begin here in the fourth and final quarter.
I like that call. They went down to Elliott. I think they should do it more often. They got to feed the big girl. She's got some great moves inside.
And working now inside the other side. And nicely done, Masani Kabas. She scores, says, hey, I can play this game inside too. So
Yes, they must have heard us talking about them at halftime. Get the ball to your bigs. Look at that right there.
Elliott inside now. Can't get it to go, but I love the effort getting it to her. She wanted a foul, no call. Here comes UCF. Up 1. Shot is off target, no good. Had a good look right there, was Gregory, but couldn't get it to go.
Yeah, little floater by KK.
And here comes the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. Inside to Elliott. And the foul called underneath on UCF as Elliott just driving right to the basket right there.
Yeah, that knee looks like it's bothering her a little bit. She gets the ball, drop steps, and just attacks the body of Schuler.
Yeah, Schuler with her 4th foul.
Goes down and kind of bends that knee a little further than she wants to. So I'm sure that's going to be one of the major things they do in the offseason is rehabbing that knee back to probably 110%.
Schuler's going to check out now, and Thigpen on the floor. You know, Schuler's known as the glue on this team, according to Coach Abe. of Edgewater High School in Orlando. This one good.
One of the most underrated players, she thinks, in the American is what Schuler is.
153 rebounds, leading UCF, 57 on the offensive glass, 32 all.
All while pursuing her master's degree, so she's smart too.
Elliott back on the bench now, but some good minutes from her. We'll see her again soon, I'm sure. This one, a turnover here for UCF. Tulsa now with a chance to take the lead. We're knotted up at 32. Fourth quarter action here. American Digital Network. Jeff Power alongside Angela Beck and Bruce Howard courtside with us.
A lot of dribbling. Need to make some passes. Still hasn't even got past the top of the key yet. That's not a smart foul right there. You got about 7 seconds left and bail them out.
Not too far away from the rim and shot clock's winding down. Yeah, it looks like Tulsa's going to inbound it now. There's a good look at Coach Abe right there. And Coach Matilda Mossman from the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. 5 postseason tournaments, twice in the NCAAs for Tulsa. This shot off target, back comes UCF. Game tied at 32, wanting to run this time. Gregory kicking it back out to the top. Shot off the back iron, no good. It was a good look. Now a tie up underneath.
Good effort, getting on the ground, sacrificing her body.
Will be the Knights, Knights basketball. And Katie Abrahamson Henderson, also known as Coach Abe. You know, 8-2 at home, no doubt. Road's been a little bit more difficult for him, but it's always tough to play on the road in college basketball.
Travel.
Lost the ball, traveling call. You don't see that very often, do you?
Yeah, it's just
Was
like
it knocked away?
It's just like no one really wants to take this lead here. It's sloppy. You know, you just got to bear down right now. Every possession means a lot.
So Wright called for the turnover there. 11 turnovers for UCF, 14 for Tulsa. UCF 13 of 41 from the field. Tulsa is 14 of 39. Tulsa out of bounds, and they will retain possession.
Should got away with one right there. They almost stripped that ball out of her hands.
Bounce pass there to Shug Dixon. Up, no good. 4 Knights around the ball, but they do lose it out of bounds. They had the possession, but unable to hang on to it was Kaba. But I like the fact they had 4 Knights right around the ball. And there's a block underneath, and they kick it back out, now around to the corner. Tulsa trying to get a good clear shot. You want a smart shot in this situation. 32 all, every basket counting here now in the 4th and final quarter. And there's a good basket down low. The bucket and the foul as Shug Dixon once again with the basket.
Shug never saw a shot she didn't like. Once she starts dribbling it, you got to go, because she's not going to pass that ball out. Once she gets it, she's going to shoot it. And that's got to be a tell for them, and they've got to go dig in and give them help.
Thigpen called for the foul. Dixon with the free throw, and it's good. 19 points for her right now.
I knew she needed to have a big night, and she's having a big night. Also having great rebounding from some of her teammates. So 12 rebounds for Scales right now.
Let's check in with Bruce Howard right now as Tulsa leads it 35-32. We'll check back with him in just a moment here, but it is the Golden Hurricane leading the Knights by 3. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll hear from Bruce here in a moment.
7,000 student athletes rising to become champions. degrees in 21 different sports at 13 esteemed institutions across 11 states. 360,000 students and 2.6 million alumni rise up in celebration of a Power 6 conference known as the American.
Don't miss the chance to see your team cut down the nets at the American Athletic Conference Men's Basketball Championship. All the excitement of tournament basketball starts March 8th and runs to the 11th at the Amway Center in Orlando. For tickets, call the Amway Center box office or visit theamerican.org for more information.
And welcome back here to the Reynolds Center in Tulsa, where the Golden Hurricane lead the Knights of UCF 35-32, 7:04 to play here in the fourth quarter. Let's check in with the third member of our crew, Bruce Howard. Bruce, how are you?
Well, guys, Coach Abe would tell you that Aaliyah Gregory is just one of the great citizens of her team, and there's no question about it. She's the 6th all-time leading scorer in UCF, with a total now with 2 points today of 1,373 points. That's number 6 all-time. Another number that's very similar, she started a toy drive for the Spring of Tampa. That's a domestic violence shelter. And she started that toy drive 3 years ago. Believe it or not, they've collected toys for 3 years. The total, 1,377. Really close as far as the numbers are concerned. I'm sure Aaliyah would say the points are important, but the toys just as important.
All right, Bruce, he had a good cause right there. I'm sure those kids enjoyed the toys. We were talking about the rebounding advantage so far here for Tulsa in the break, Angela. Thoughts? Because it's really been Scales and Elliott just kind of going to work down low.
Yeah, Scales and Elliott. Scales is 7. Scales has 12 rebounds, and Elliott has 7. And that's the difference maker. That's how they're back in this game. And actually, they've taken their second lead.
So 35-32. The Golden Hurricane lead. The Knights with the basketball, though. Shot from about the free throw line won't go, but there is a foul called. Gregory had the opportunity from about 14 feet, but couldn't get it to go, but she'll go to the charity stripe.
And Gregory's first team All-American selection here for the American Conference. Now, I've always been I always think that she has more in her. I think because there's so many other people around her, she really hasn't had to do as much as she's done in the past, but I still think they need a little more from her.
We mentioned she's had over 1,000 points here for UCF in her career. She's out of Tampa, not too far from Orlando, and can't get this one to go. It's 35-33, Tulsa on top. Gregory was 1 of 2. There's a good look. Oh, all in, but not going down. Hate to see that as a coach. I'm sure Mossman felt like she had what she wanted. But here on the other end, it's a basket that goes for KK Wright.
They desperately needed KK to knock one down there. I like what they're doing. They're putting Shug in the middle of the zone. She's really tough to guard there, and she's got that great mid-range shot. So let's see if she goes back in there.
And you see the Knights with some full court pressure there as we're even at 35. It's go time now, 6 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Both teams trying to find the way to get the easy basket. That was a good look from Scales, couldn't get it to go. She probably thought she was going to get fouled and went a little too strong, and here come the Knights. And they kick it inside. In and out, no good from Kaba, and back comes Tulsa. Some really good looks right there.
You feel that it's just a little bit too fast, though.
Yeah.
And she's almost out quicking herself on that shot. It's a great move, but it's not a good move if you don't make it. Travel.
Extra step. And the travel violation. A tough break right there. They had the shot they want, but this guy called for the travel.
You can just feel like one team's going to break away, and then it just doesn't happen.
Coach Abe. A lot of coaches will tell you that we don't really want to be in a half-court style. We'd rather play off some transition defense, but it's what both teams have had to do. And really, with this rebounding advantage for Tulsa, it's kind of maybe caught some by surprise. They do have the 34 rebounds to 27 for UCF.
They got Crystal Polk right now bodying her up, so they're not giving Kaba a whole lot.
Both teams nearly even from the field. 33% for UCF, 14 of 43, 34% for Tulsa, 15 of 44. This one goes, and there's a big basket for UCF, and the foul called underneath on top of that.
Well, KK got the wake-up call. Coach must have said something at the timeout that you need to wake up. That's a great drive. Gets around her. Nice touch in.
And they'll kick it out to the side now, so the basket did not count, but this one does. KK from the corner. And that's going to be a two-pointer, so 37-35, the Knights lead. More pressure, but no trouble for Tulsa as they break it across midcourt.
A little more pep, though, in UCF step. That's what I'm talking about. They have another gear. You're going to see this gear come alive, and Tulsa needs to match that.
Good passing. There's the shot. Laskai dribbles in, can't get it to go. You know, she had that first look. Probably should have taken that shot right there.
That's that baseline drive that she got caught in a couple times. And then they don't get back in defensive transition. I might call a timeout.
Yeah, Saunders with the basket. Here comes the pressure again. And now there's the timeout from Mossman. You coaches always pick up on that, don't you?
Well, you know, when you get 2 shots in a row, you give up, and then you give a defensive transition basket up. Time to talk.
Well, UCF on a 7-0 run here over the last 2 minutes and 12 seconds. And, you know, we were talking about the rebounding edge from Tulsa, but really UCF's now done a pretty good job on the boards here during this little stretch.
Yeah, I think they know what they have to do to win. They just, you know, turn it on late in the game. And I've seen that happen several times by them. But, you know, this has been a good effort by both teams. And I think if they can go down low to their bigs, good things can happen.
Let's take a look at some of the other ADN broadcasts coming up. Again, Wichita State at Eastern Carolina. That's coming up on January 30th. It's Tuesday. Houston at Wichita State. We'll see the Cougars again when they host Memphis on February 7th. Then you've got UCF at Temple February 10th and SMU at USF on February 14th. Down the stretch we come here, and it's a tight one. UCF leading at 39-35. You just mentioned about, you know, you kind of feel one of these teams is going to kind of make a run. Well, there you go. UCF with 7-0 run in the last 2:19. We'll see if Tulsa can match it. Shot from the other side is tipped away. Good job on the defensive side as Golden had her shot blocked. And the Knights are running, and this one goes out of bounds, but will stay with UCF. It looks like KK Wright will inbound it. Nope, she rotates out. Now it's Saunders to inbound. Always depends on who's covering the inbound as to who throws it in. Wright thinks about it. Now dribbles back out to the top.
One of the things they do is they manage that clock late in the game.
3:55 in the fourth. And can't get it to go. The tip.
Rebound by Polk. That was a great rebound.
Yeah, she's on the floor now. And Tulsa could probably use a little spark off the bench right about now.
Well, their three-point shooting would help them out too. If they can just, you know, hit a couple of those, they're capable. I just haven't seen them rock and fire them tonight. Just because they don't have the ball movement.
Down forward, Tulsa with the basketball. Polk up. Oh, can't get it to go. And back comes UCF.
She was down there deep. That's got to go.
She's out of Lawton, Oklahoma. Had 7 points versus Tulane. Tulsa needing a stop here. UCF trying to pad their 4-point lead. Down to 3:20 to play here in the fourth. Shot clock down to 8. Work it inside. Oh, they lose the handle. And taken away. The Golden Hurricane on the move now. Foul called.
That's Wakefield. Nice job going right at their body and drawing that foul. Getting to the free throw line, stopping the clock. That's a veteran move right there.
So Laskai had the steal, and now heading to the free throw line is Wakefield.
Just 1 for 6 for tonight.
More Oklahoma. She is one of only 2 seniors on this Tulsa squad. She gets it to go. And And the second one also good. And Wakefield up to 4 points now. 65 away from 1,000. Trying to be the 11th player to do that in Tulsa history.
Look for Z. Okay, timeout. I was going to say look for Z to take the shot or KK.
Good timeout right there with a 2-point lead. 2 minutes and 50 seconds to play. If you're on the offensive side, what are you looking for right here in a tight game like this? Every basket counts, but what do you think? Inside, work it inside, maybe kick it out?
No, I mean, yes, I'm going to move the ball side to side. It's a man-to-man defense, probably get some screens set up. I'd probably do an isolation for probably Z or for KK. I really don't think I'd go down low to my big because she's just a little bit more inexperienced and she's been bobbling it a little bit. So I would probably not go to Kaba down low, and I'd probably keep it in KK or Z's hand.
It's a 30-second timeout, so the girls will run back on the floor now. We'll see what Coach Abe has drawn up for her Golden Knights. And, you know, the thing about UCF is, 5-2, a chance to move into second place. You're up by 2. These are the kind of games you have to win if you want to, get a bye in the tournament.
Looking for a high post screen.
Kaba kicks it out to the side. 10-footer is good. Beautiful shot. Great little runner right there. Got the open shot that they wanted to.
Or Gregory. And I should have said her, but she really hasn't been the go-to girl, but she's obviously one of the great players in the league.
She is here, the great shot. So 41-37, UCF leading Tulsa. Wakefield takes the shot. 15-footer will not go. She was open.
She just didn't want to take it. I didn't feel that she just should have rocked. That's the girl you want to take it.
She's 1 of 7 from the field. White credited with the rebound there for UCF, and they might take this clock down to single digits. Inside 2 minutes, the shot clock now down to 9. Good shot inside from Kaba. She can't get it to go, though. But she had good movement, Kaba did, but just couldn't finish it off. But they do get the bucket here.
She rebounded it after her miss and put it right back up. So nice effort by the big.
Well, she knew right away it was short, so she's the first with the clue that it's not going to go in. It might as well go for a rebound. 43-37. UCF leading, and a turnover, a costly turnover from Tulsa. Here come the Knights.
They're going to take the air out of it. Probably not shoot till 10 seconds or less.
Dixon has 19 points for Tulsa. But UCF's been led by Saunders and her 17 points. She's 8 of 18 from the field. Inside 10 seconds now on the shot clock. There we go. They move it inside. Oh, good defensive effort underneath as Shug gets the block.
KK's like, I think she might have taken some of my arm off on that play, but a good isolation. Ran the clock down, a little jump step, and good block by the bigs.
Yeah, the only problem with that jump step is now you're jumping from the ground again, and that's why she got blocked.
Yep. And that scales, and she's played a great game for Tulsa.
Now Coach Abe wants to talk things over with her squad.
This is what's happening, though. Just a couple possessions down the stretch, and all of a sudden, we go from a tie game to...
Well, Tulsa scoring drought, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. They've missed their last 7. They're 1 of their last 12. I mean, this is the wrong time to be missing your shots.
Well, Dixon's the go-to. I mean, she did go to a couple shots, but, there's other players in there that are highly capable of scoring. They're bigs inside, and they just didn't execute as well as they could have.
The rebounding margin is now tightened up. UCF with 34, Tulsa with 35 rebounds. And the problem for Tulsa, it's been Dixon, but really nobody else has been able to step up. Elliott was good off the bench with the 6 points and the 7 rebounds, but they haven't gotten the game from Wakefield they need. She's got 4 points. Galden with 2. Lasky got the start today, but she's 1 of 7 from the field with 2 points. Scales has played well with the 13 rebounds, but just 4
Elliott
points.
gave him 6. I really think a little more minutes off of her. I think she would be capable of double digits every night. She had 7 rebounds in just 9 minutes of play.
Of course,
so
Saunders has led the way for UCF with their 17 points. Wright and Kaba and Gregory and Thigpen have all been impressive. Thigpen coming off the bench with 5 points has been nice with the 3 rebounds as well, but Gregory also with 5. Kaba, the 7 points, a little bit misleading. She's 3 of 8 from the field, and she's missed some pretty easy shots inside her. That total could have been in double digits.
I think the thing I like about UCF is that their guards really do work hard and rebound and get you a bunch of offensive, opportunities. Like Wright has 4, Saunders has 7 rebounds at the guard position, and then you got Gregory. She's got a couple too. Thigpen's really a guard. She's got 3. Wilson's got 4. I mean, so they're giving you. They're not just going out there standing around and shooting. They're physical and they're playing tough.
Not many fouls in this game. Schuler does have 4 fouls. The rest of the squad for UCF with 2 or less. Tulsa does have a player with 3 fouls, and that being the Sky. Then a couple with 2 and Scales.
Tulsa needs to stop here, and then if not, they've got a foul.
Shot off target.
Now they have to have a sense of urgency. Let's get the ball up quickly, run a screen on the ball, get a shot up. You can't mess around now.
So Tulsa with the ball down 6. Might be looking for a 3. We'll see. And foul called.
That was a great take by Shug. I mean, she just shifted her gears and went right by her.
Gregory called for the foul. That's her 3rd. In the bonus now, Tulsa, they'll get some free throws.
Now you got to extend your defense, try to get a steal. If not, you're going to have to get a quick foul.
Shug Dixon with the 1st. She's got 20 points, looking for the 21st right here, and it's good. It's form there, the free throw. It's a 5-point game. Make that a 4-point game. But just 48 seconds left.
2-possession game, but get a steal.
Apply the pressure, full court.
And a little keep away, which is nice.
Quickly get it across midcourt, and foul called right at midcourt. That one's on Wakefield, her 2nd foul.
KK's shooting about 66% from the free throw line this year. They got another foul to give.
42 seconds to play, 43-39. UCF leading Tulsa. Might get a quick foul here, and they do. Might be your best option, put them on the free throw line.
Well, they can hold it, so that's the only option if you can't steal it.
Well, we had Saunders in the spotlight. She's kind of lived up to it. See if she can maybe put this game away with a pair of free throws.
I'd want her there. That's the person I'd want at the line right now. She's a cool customer, good rotation, great arch on the shot.
And Zykia, who averages 13 points and 5 rebounds a game and 4 assists, well above that now with 18 points, now make it 19 points. So timeout called by Tulsa. They are down 45-39, in need of some baskets. Be a 30-second timeout, so we can keep it here.
This will be a big win for UCF. They split last year with them. Get a win right now. Really, I say, Coach, are you where you want to be about midseason here now? And she's like, we're further along than I expected. She's extremely proud of what they're doing.
Let's go to the conference standings here as, again, UConn winners. They are 9-0, 20-0 overall. UCF with a win could be in sole possession of 2nd, depending on what happens with USF and Cincinnati. And Houston and Wichita State, they've got a big game coming up. They're 4-3 in the thick of things. And Tulsa at 2-5, trying to avoid going 2-6.
Yep, and then it's unfortunate, but they're good enough to win. They just have to execute down the stretch and do the little things. They were in this game all night. And this is the first time I've seen her take control. She has to take control a little bit earlier.
Yeah, Wakefield trying to make something happen there. Good drive, but just couldn't quite get it to finish.
Yeah, I mean, and she could have had that earlier in the game. So Wakefield's going to have to really take over the team and do just a little bit more than what she's doing in order to win these types of games.
So 45-39 with 35 seconds to play. They'll try to get a shot off here pretty quickly.
You know she'll shoot it.
I was going to say, Shug Dixon
get a
needs to put it
screen
up.
for her.
There you go. There's the move. Couldn't get it to fall, but she'll go to the free throw line.
I mean, she's having to create that shot. And that was a nice take. She's got a couple different gears. She's an exciting player. She's got a nice stroke from three-point range. She's got a good mid-range jumper. She's a big body, so she's got a great future in the American.
She'll head to the free throw line here. 28 seconds to play, and it's good. Some players, they just have that look like, I'm going to make this free throw. Don't even worry about it. Go ahead and put them on the scoreboard.
Well, she scored double figures in 11 games this year, so she's used to putting some points up, and I would call her a shooter. Because she doesn't care if she makes or misses, she's going to shoot it again, and that's what a shooter is.
And you need that. 23 points for Dixon. Saunders almost matching that with 19 points and 7 rebounds.
This has got to be kind of frustrating, but I mean, it's 27 seconds left. It's only a 4-point game. So, you know, a couple missed free throws and should shoot one of those threes. It's still a ball game. In the men's game, this would be like eight more possessions. In the women's game, we kind of think 27 seconds and it's over, but it's not.
Tulsa's had their trouble from the field. They're 0 of their last 8 and 1 of the last 13. The free throw line's kind of bailed them out a little bit here down the stretch, but they trail 45-41. Some would say, hey, you're lucky to be in the game, but at the same time, as you mentioned, I mean, 4 points is not much to overcome. You do need a turnover, you need a steal or something, but at least a stop.
Well, they juggle a lot of people in and out, and as a player, that's kind of a little bit frustrating. I think their bigs are pretty good. I mean, I like Elliott. I even like Polk. You know, they've got several kids that can shoot inside, and then you have the kind of rebounding game that Scales put together. But they just need a few more minutes, I think, to get in their rhythm. And,
you know, Bruce mentioned it earlier. Tulsa was 2 of 24 from behind the three-point line against Tulane. Well, they're 2 of 11 here. So they do have the 2, but still, that's an area where they need to shoot better because that's part of their game. But they're down by 4 here. See if we get a quick foul, and we do.
It's going to come with, I've said it all day, but it's going to come with better ball movement, more cutting, more overloading. You know, I like
more
the short,
Wakefield driving and kicking out.
Yeah, I like the short corner against a 3-2 because, you know, you're offsetting it, and they're trying to keep you out of the middle. Well, guess what? Overload the zone and attacking the baseline.
There's a miss.
And that's what they're wanting.
One more shot coming up here for Gregory. She's 1 of 3. The free throw line. Second one is good. So now it's a 5-point game. UCF leading Tulsa. Another timeout here on the floor, and I think Tulsa's going to look to, you know, get the quick basket. Obviously, you don't have to have the 3 here, but you'd like to go ahead and make it to where your last possession is only a 2-point shot.
I like to see a high post screen for probably Dick. Should let her shoot it. Or get a screen for a guard. Wakefield could shoot it, but probably should. Will probably shoot it. And then if you miss, you're going to have to get a quick foul. But even if they got a 2, then it's just another 1-possession game. So maybe a little drive to the hole. Make it 43-46, and then all they need is a 3 to tie it.
27 seconds is an eternity in basketball, as we discussed. Scoring by quarters, Tulsa led 10-9, then they were outscored 12-8 in the second quarter. They outscored them by 2 in the third, and they've been outscored here in the fourth, 16-12 as we look at the Olympic Sport Championships here on the ADN broadcast. Swimming and diving is February 14th through the 17th, and then the indoor track and field championships on the 23rd to the 24th. Got golf and tennis for you in April, and then May we're going to go to softball, May 10th and 11th. That's always a lot of fun. Outdoor track and field is May 11th through 13th. That's a huge weekend. And of course, women's rowing May 12th to top it off, and baseball finishes it up on the 21st to the 26th of May. So Tulsa with the ball, looking for a quick basket. They're down 5. There's the shot. They're going to want that corner. And it's off target, no good. I thought that shot didn't go up quick enough for Galden. She kind of dribbled out and cost her some time there as 15 seconds remain. And there's a foul on Tulsa.
I mean, they tried to run the set. It just it didn't work out because when they screened them, they didn't hold them off, and a good job by UCF getting around that screen.
And that's one of those, you know, if you're Galden, you've got to be thinking shot as the ball's coming to you and just jack it up. I mean, you know, it's by the time she dribbled and got out of it, it wasn't really there anymore.
Yeah, a little surprised that she's the one taking the shot at that time.
True.
I would have had Dixon, who's already been warmed up and firing them all night. She's usually going to either get you a free throw or something.
So Gregory missing the free throw. It's a 5-point game as we roll back down the floor. Shot no good as Wakefield had a point-blank shot there but couldn't get it to go, and that's going to probably do it as UCF will now head to the free throw line on the other side, up by 5.
Yeah, it's not so much what UCF did in the end. I think it's a little bit what Tulsa didn't do in the end, which they just never really had a go-to besides Dixon. You know, they didn't really have a go-to player, and they stopped going inside when they could, and just on a couple of possessions didn't cherish them like they should have.
Well, no field goals in the final 6:58 for Tulsa. I mean, that's pretty much says it all. They've made some baskets on the free throw line, but that's about it.
And I guess we'll credit UCF for the fact that I told you they had another gear, and they did play some good series, 3 or 4 series in a row where they made good stops.
And the free throw is good here from Saunders. So it's 47-41, UCF. Tulsa with one last shot here. The three-pointer is good from the corner as Alexis Galden scores. But that's going to do it here as UCF will leave Tulsa with a victory, 47-44, as the Knights win it by 3. Good win for Coach Abe, and Matilda Mossman knows that maybe her squad let this one get away. We'll be back to wrap it up here in just a moment.
People say we're big. Wow. Well, what is big?
This is big.
It's an energy. An opportunity. So go on. Dream big. Because big is just the beginning.
I got it. This is big.
I'm Kirk Smith, and this is my story. I'm a captain of TU's track and cross country teams, and I'm a Rhodes Scholar. My life's pretty simple. I run, I work, and then I run some more. My research focuses on combating climate change by driving down the cost of energy storage. And that's my story so far.
And welcome back here to the Reynolds Center in Tulsa, where UCF defeats the Golden Hurricane 47-44. Let's check in now along the sideline here as Bruce Howard has more. Bruce?
Coach Abe, obviously a big win for you on the road. What did you do defensively to smother Tulsa?
I think both teams did a great job defensively. It wasn't really a high-scoring game, 41-47 or 48. That's not a really high-scoring game. So I think each team, played really good defense, and only 2 players on each team really scored points, and that was Z, our player, and number 12, their player. So it was a defensive night, really.
And what can you say about Saunders? 20 points, 7 rebounds, runs your offense. She did it all.
Yeah, she did do it all, and she's doing it all for us right now. So we got to find some other people. Usually Moss comes in and shoots a little bit more and shoots a little better, but their post players did a good job on her. But thank God we had her tonight.
Yeah, and road wins are gold. You're 6-2 now in the league. You're currently in second place, obviously pending some other games. Got to feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, we feel good considering we're very, very injured, and we're playing 7 players. I mean, that's all we have right now. So I'm very proud of them that they're focusing and finishing every single game off.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
Head Coach Abe with the UCF Knights. And now let's go ahead and talk with the young lady that scored 20 points in the game and also had 7 rebounds, Zykia Saunders. And what was important in this game for you and UCF to win?
We just have to stick to focusing on the defense. That's pretty much it, just defense and staying together.
Yeah, and you certainly play hard all the time, but what was it defensively you did today that was so effective?
The same thing we always do, pressure the ball and then move off of each other.
And, of course, you've been with Coach Abe for a while, first year at UCF, but you've done a terrific job of adapting to the UCF style, and, of course, it's been kind of natural for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been kind of fun since I've known Coach Abe for, a while now. I kind of know her program, and I know how to help everybody else work with her program as well.
Zykia, congratulations, great game.
Thank you.
Zykia Saunders, who was the star of the game for UCF with 20 points and, again, 7 rebounds in the game. Now, guys, back to you.
All right, Bruce, appreciate that. So UCF winners 47-44 over Tulsa. Saunders with 20 points and 7 rebounds, and a good performance from Shug Dixon with 23 points in a losing cause. But again, your final, the Knights of UCF win it 47-44. For Angela Beck and Bruce Howard, I'm Jeff Power. You've been watching us here on the American Digital Network, and we'll catch you next week. More action as UCF, again, your winner by 3 over Tulsa.